I want to make sure they're properly mounted and secured. They're not broken loose and missing. Amber in color. My spot mirror lights are mounted on my hood. Properly mounted and secured. They're not broken loose or missing. Then I'm going to check for my headlight assembly, one on each side. Headlight, clean and clear. They serve as your headlight, low beam and high beam. Marker light, amber in color, properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing. They serve as your running light, marker light, or a running light, left turn and right turn indicator, and four-way emergency flasher. Next, I'm going to check underneath the truck, make sure there's no fluid of any kind that can indicate a fluid leak from my motor, which is motor oil, coolant, or power steering. I'm going to be checking for any wires that's dangling. I want to make sure they're tucked up and properly secured. Okay. I didn't mention it earlier, but I want to also make sure the overall condition of my truck, if it's tilting on one side or the other, that could indicate a flat tire or a broken suspension. Now, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and check the engine compartment. I'm going to look on the left side, look to the right. Clear. I'm going to begin with my coolant reservoir. I'll make sure that's properly mounted and secured. That's not broken loose or missing or leaking. I'm going to check for the hose itself. There's no abrasion, bubbles, cuts, or leaks. Now, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and check for my hoses throughout the entire engine compartment on this side, as well as on the other side. The hoses should be no abrasion, bubbles, or cuts, or leaks. Electrical line, properly mounted and secured. There's no cuts or frays or exposed wire. Next, I'm going to check for my alternator. Properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing. Water pump, properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing or leaking. Both alternator and water pump is belt driven. I want to make sure my belt is in good condition. It's not dry, cracked, broken loose or missing. Should not have no more than 3/4 of an inch of play. Okay. I want to make sure the electrical, the alternator back wire is properly mounted and secured, not dry, cracked, exposed wires. Next, I'll be checking for my exhaust system. It starts from the back of the turbo. I want to make sure all my clamps are in place. They're not broken loose or missing. There should not be any black soot anywhere near them. It could indicate an exhaust leak. I'll be checking for that exhaust from the back of the turbo underneath the truck all the way to the back. I want to make sure my exhaust pipe is properly mounted and secured with the cross bracket. They are bolted. All the bolts are tight. All my clamps are in place. They're not broken loose or missing. No black soot anywhere near them that could indicate an exhaust leak. The only black soot I need to see is at the very tip. Okay. I want to make sure my exhaust shield is properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing. So, examine with your permission, I'd like to examine the right side and the other side because they're pretty much identical. Okay. Alright, here I've already checked. I mentioned about checking the hoses. I'm going to check it here as well for no abrasion, bubbles, or cuts or leaks, and no cuts or frays or exposed wire. I'm going to begin checking with my air compressor pump. Right here, properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing, it's not leaking. As well as my power steering pump, which is right behind it. Properly mounted and secured, it's not broken loose or missing or leaking. Same thing with the power steering hoses, no abrasion, bubbles, cuts, or leaks. Okay. Next, I'm going to be checking for my oil dipstick right here. I'm going to pull it out, wipe it clean, reinsert it, check the proper fluid level. If I need to add, I'm going to add it right here in the filler station tube, properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing, and it's going to be 1 gallon at a time. Power steering reservoir, properly mounted and secured, not broken loose or missing, it's not leaking. This is where I check it. This is where I need to add. Okay. Now I'm going to check for my frame. I'll be checking for my frame from the front of the tractor all the way to the back on both sides. I want to make sure they're not bent or broken, free from illegal welds or illegal holes. Make sure it's in good condition. I'm going to check for my steering linkage system. This is my steering column, not bent, broken, loose, or missing. I have my universal joint, properly greased, free from debris. Power steering or gearbox, properly mounted, secured. All the bolts are tight, they're not broken, loose, or missing or leaking. I have my pitman arm, drag link, ball joints on each end, a castle nut, cotter pin, as well as my upper and my lower knuckle They are all properly mounted and secured. They're not broken, loose, or missing. Okay. I have my spring mount. It is bolted. Springs, U-bolts, spring hanger in the back, tie rod, and tie arm. They are properly mounted, secured. They're not broken, loose, or missing. Springs are in good condition. They're not shifting in any way. They're not cracked or illegal holes or welds. And the mount itself, spring mount, it is bolted. I want to make sure all the bolts are tight. Next, I'm going to start with my brakes. I'm going to start with my brake hose. No abrasion, bubbles, or cuts or leaks. As well as my electrical line that is properly mounted and secured. There's no cuts or frays or exposed wire. My brake chamber, properly mounted and secured. It's not dented in any way. It's in good condition. My push rod and my slack adjuster, properly mounted and secured. Not broken, loose, or missing. Push rod cannot travel no more than 1 inch of play when brakes are fully applied. I'm going to check in the back of my wheel to make sure there's no fluid of any kind that could indicate an axle seal leak. I'm checking for my brake drums. I want to make sure my brake drum is in good condition, properly mounted and secured. No illegal welds or holes on it. Blue lining, shouldn't be no excessive bluing. Brake pads. I want to make sure my brake pads properly mounted and secured and it's in good condition. Should have no less than 1/4 of an inch thick at its thinnest point. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and check my tire for ICD. First is the I, inflation. It's between 90 to 110 or manufacturer's recommendation, which is noted on the sidewall, outside wall. Okay. I want to make sure that the condition, that inside as well as the outside, no abrasion, bubbles, and cuts, should be an even wear on the groove. I want to make sure each groove, major groove, can be no less than 4/30 seconds in thread depth. Front tire must be a brand new tire. It cannot be re-grooved, recap, or rethread. It must be brand new. Okay. I want to make sure my tire is properly beaded to my rim. I want to make sure my rim is in good condition. This is an aluminum rim. I'm looking for no illegal holes or welds, no heavy hammering on the rim. And my lug nuts are all in place, they're all tight. If I see any kind of oxidation behind the lug nut, that can indicate two things, which is a loose lug nut or broken stud. Axle seal, or hub oil seal, my apologies. Hub oil seal, properly mounted, secured, where all the lug nuts or the bolts are tight and it's not leaking. I want to make sure you got the proper fluid level. If I need to add, pop the cap off, put some fluid, replace the cap. This is my air valve stem. It is steel, properly mounted, secured, not broken, loose, or missing, or leaking, with a proper metal cap on it. And it's not touching the rim. Okay? Cover that really well. Next, I'm going to check for my mirror brackets. Properly mounted and secured. It's not broken, loose, or missing. My door. I want to make sure my door opens and closes freely. My door hinges. It's properly mounted and secured, and the bolts are tight. It's holding the door firmly. Here's my rubber door seal. I want to make sure that is in good condition. It's not dry, cracked, broken, loose, or missing. Okay. Door steps. Properly mounted and secured. They're not broken, loose, or missing. Free from debris such as oil, snow, mud, or ice that could cause you to slip and fall. My lights, amber in color, properly mounted and secured. They serve as your left and right turn indicator as well as your four-way emergency flasher. Make sure that's working properly. Got our steps and catwalk. Steps and catwalk, properly mounted and secured. Not broken, loose, or missing. Again, free from debris such as snow, ice, mud, or dirt that could cause you to slip and fall. Fuel tank. Make sure my fuel tank is in good condition and it's not leaking. It's properly mounted and secured with no less than two tank strap. I want to make sure the tank strap itself is in good condition. They're not broken, loose, or missing. You should have at least a rubber or leather grommet that's in between the strap and the tank. I'm going to be checking for my gas cap, fuel tank cap. I want to make sure that's in good condition, as well as the rubber grommet inside. It's not dried, cracked, broken, loose, or missing, with a chain and a T-bar. Cause it from falling. I want to make sure go ahead and replace that back and the cap is tight. In between my frame, I have my drive shaft. I want to make sure that drive shaft is in good condition. It's not broken, loose, or missing. Each end has a universal joint that's properly greased. Okay. To examine with your permission, I would like to examine the number 2 and the number 3 axle the exact same way I examined the number 1, but only noting the 5 differences. First difference is the torque rod. Make sure that's properly mounted and secured. It's not broken, loose, or missing. It's in good condition. You got your control mount which is bolted, that is in good condition, not broken, loose, or missing, as well as the control arm, and that should be in good condition. It's not broken, loose, or missing. That's 2. Number 3, these are dually tires. Okay, I want to make sure that my rims, okay, are butted together. There should not be no illegal spacers in between, and must be free from debris. Tires cannot be touching. These tires can be mix match, but must be of equal size. They can be re-grooved, re-thread, or recap. Each major groove can have no less than 2/32 in thread depth. Okay. The other difference is this is an axle seal. I want to make sure that all the bolts are tight, they're not broken, loose, or missing, and it's not leaking. That's number 4. Number 5 is your airbag, which is down here. I want to make sure my airbag is properly mounted and secured with the airbag mounts. That there's no abrasion, bubbles, cuts, or leaks, and it's in good condition. Okay. I'm going to ahead and move on. Got to finish off my tractor. Splash guard. I want to make sure my splash guard is in good condition. They're properly mounted and secured with the DOT reflective tape on it, and it should be off the ground. Should not be touching the ground. Behind here I have 3 lights, properly mounted and secured, working properly. 2 of which are red in color. They serve as your brake light, running light, left turn, right turn indicator, as well as your 4-way emergency flasher. The single one and the white one in the middle serves as your reverse light. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go back right here and start doing my coupling system. I'm going to begin with my 5th wheel. This is your 5th wheel or skid plate. I want to make sure there's no illegal welds or holes on it, and it's in good condition, and it's properly greased. I want to make sure it's mounted into my platform. It's platform rail. The platform itself is in good condition, not broken, loose, or missing, and it's mounted with the mounting bolts. All my bolts are in place, they're not broken, loose, or missing. Locking pin, properly mounted, secured, not broken, loose, or missing, and working properly. In between the 5th wheel, in the middle of the 5th wheel, you have your locking jaw. I want to make sure my locking jaw works properly, that it's around the shank of my kingpin, and it's working properly. My kingpin is part of my trailer. I want to make sure that's not bent, broken, loose, or missing. While I'm down here, I'm going to check for my apron. Okay, it is part of my trailer. It's on the underside. It is structurally sound. It's not bulging in any way. There's no illegal holes or welds, and it's in good condition. I want to make sure there's no gap between my 5th wheel and my apron. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish off my coupling system back here. I'm going to start out with my service line, blue in color, and then my emergency line, which is red. I want to make sure there's no abrasion, bubbles, and cuts or leaks, and they are properly mounted into my trailer as well as my tractor. My glad hands, I want to make sure my glad hands are in good condition. Inside my glad hands here, you have my rubber grommet. I want to make sure that's in good condition. It's not broken, loose, or missing. All right, you don't have to take it off. You can just explain it. Okay. Green is your electrical line. It's not cut or phrased or exposed wire, and it's mounted to my tractor as well as my trailer, and it's in good condition. All lines must not be touching the catwalk. It should be up off the catwalk. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and begin with my trailer. I'm going to start with my bulkhead. I want to make sure my bulkhead is in good condition. It's not bulging in any way, and it's structurally sound. I'm going to look up there. I got my marker light, amber in color, properly working and secured, not broken, loose, or missing. My DOT reflective tape. If they're in good condition and they're not peeling, this should cover at least 75% of my trailer. Good. While I'm walking down, I'm going to check the overall condition of my trailer. That is still good, in good condition. I'm going to start with my landing gear. My landing gear support brackets are in good condition. They're not bent, broken, loose, or missing. Bolts are tight. Landing gear itself is in good condition. It's not bent, broken, loose, or missing. As well as my sand chute, that it is in good condition and it's free from debris. While I'm down here, I might as well check for my cross member from the front of the trailer all the way to the back. I want to make sure all my cross members are in good condition. They're not bent, broken, loose, or missing. As well as my floorboards. This is a dry van. It is wood. I want to make sure all the wood planks are in place. They're not broken, loose, or missing. They're in good condition. I'm going to keep on walking back here. Still checking the overall condition of my trailer. Next, I'm going to check my marker light. Properly mounted, secured, amber in color. They serve as your running light, 4-way emergency flasher, left turn and right turn indicator. I got my air lines and electrical hose. I I want to make sure they're properly mounted and secured. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. The lines themselves, they're properly mounted and secured. No cuts or frays or exposed wire. Mr. Examiner, with your permission, I would like to examine the number 4 and 5 axle. Exact same way I examined the 1, 2, and 3, only noting the difference. First difference is this is a sliding tandem. I want to make sure my rails are in good condition, that they are mounted securely, all the welds are in place. I have my locking pins, I have 2 in each side. I want to make sure they're in good condition and locked position, as well as my tandem release handle, safety latch right here, that is working properly and it's always in the lock and safe position. Other difference is my spring mount. This is welded. I want to make sure the weld itself is in good condition. They're not dry, cracked, broken, loose, or missing. Here I have an equalizer bar, also welded. I want to make sure that weld's in good condition. And all the bolts are tight and they're not broken, loose, or missing. The other difference I have here, these are steel wheels. I want to make sure all my lug nuts are tight and they're in place. If I see any rust behind the lug nut, that could indicate, again, 2 things. Loose lug nut or broken stud. I want to make sure they're all tight. With your permission, I'd like to examine my trailer splash guard the same way I did with my tractor. Here I have my door tie hook, properly mounted secured, no broken, loose, or missing. ABS light, amber in color, working properly. Marker light, red in color, properly mounted secured and working properly. On the back of the tractor, I'm going to go ahead and start from the top. I got 3 marker light, red in color, properly mounted and secured, working properly. I'm going to begin with my door latch and door tie. I want to make sure they're not bent, broken, loose, or missing, that they do open the door and closes the door freely. I want to make sure that my seal, door seal, is in good condition. They're not dry, cracked, broken, loose, or missing. Checking for all my hinges. All the bolts are tight. I'm not missing any hinges and they are all in good condition. Door tie chain, properly mounted, secured, and working properly. I have my DOT reflective tape on it, as well as my DOT bar. They're in good condition. They're not peeling in any way. I have my 4 tail lights, red in color, properly mounted, secured, and working properly. They serve as your running light, brake light, 4-way emergency flasher, left turn and right turn indicator. Okay, my license plate light, clear in color, working properly. DOT, column DOT bar, they're not bent, broken, loose, or missing. It's in good condition with the DOT reflective tape on it. Again, with Mr. Examiner, with your permission, I would like to examine the right side of my trailer, exact same way I examined the left, only noting the 2 differences. And the 2 differences are up here. Alright, first difference is my landing gear crank handle. I want to make sure that my landing gear crank handle lowers my landing gear freely, as well as raises it back up. And it's in good condition, and it's always on the lock and stock block and stowed position. Lastly, the other difference here is my 5th wheel release handle, as well as my safety latch. I want to make sure that's properly working and secured, and it's always locked and in a safe position when I'm underneath the trailer. Alright, Mr. Examiner, that would conclude my pre-trip inspection. Okay?